excited because both of you represent a younger generation, someone that's emerging, younger leadership. And in the ANC, we always talk about a generational mix. And both of you, in your respective ways, represent a younger generation that probably is learning from the mistakes of the ANC and also a new ANC. What is your input to that, being part of that renewal, part of that unity that we're pushing forward? Comrade Zoe?
It has been quite interesting the last couple of years or so, watching the ANC renewing itself. We've made mistakes, and we've taken collective blame, and we are taking collective effort as the ANC. And one can see it with many things that our government is doing, nationally, obviously, like the commission that we have, the Zondo Commission that we have, but we as the members of the ANC in Oudtshoorn and also in our wards, we are fighting and we are trying to take corruption out of our communities, and also not only corruption. We have been seeing a lot of crime happening in our country, and yeah, it's wonderful. And as youth and as young people, we must be involved in these things, and we must be involved in trying to call each other out when we see these things. And we are living in exciting times as members of the ANC, and we are living in exciting times as young people in our country. And we believe that we'll get rid of this evilness of corruption. It's not the identity. We're not corrupt people as the people of South Africa, and we're not corrupt people as people of the ANC. And we believe we'll get rid of it, and we will fight, and we trust that we're in a process of renewal and in a process of unity as the ANC. But in the process of unity and renewal, it doesn't mean that there won't be any problems and there won't be any infights and everything. Any process, in order for it to be successful, there must be things that must be ironed out. I think I should stop there.
Okay. Your views, Comrade Maxwell?
Voor mij is dit die ANC neem eienaarskap van foute wat gemaakt was in die verlede en met die huidige situasie met die Zondo-kommissie en soos met my vorige kameraad gesê. En ek wil dit alles opsom om te sê die proses van vernuwing is 'n traumatiese een, want baie gaan nie gelukkig wees nie en baie gaan gelukkig wees. Maar vir die vooruitgang van vir die ANC is hierdie die beste manier vorentoe, want die ANC is nie korrup nie. Dis maar nou maar my beskeie mening. Ek glo aan dat ons moet dit kyk na die individu en nie na 'n organisasie nie, of na die movement in hierdie konteks nie. So die proses is vir my, it is my opinion only, dat ons is besig met 'n goeie proses om die ANC 'n volhoubare movement te maak vorentoe, so dat die volgende Maxwells van 30 jaar oud, van 29, van 27 trots kan sê, ek gaan vir die ANC stem, omdat die ANC staan vir ABCD. Die ANC het dit en dat gedoen. Die ANC is soos al die ander partye, ons is nie vry van foute maak nie, niemand is nie. Maar daar is nie 'n ander party beter as die ANC wat hulle foute herken en daarvan na werk nie.
You're quite correct, comrade. Yeah, you're quite correct, comrade. There is no other party that will self-correct and will see the mistakes. And we also, we not only Zondo Commission, you also look at the step-aside rule that we have applied as the ANC. And no party has looked at its own and said, let's fix ourselves as a movement and get rid of these corrupt elements and these corrupt issues that we have as a nation. And I think we must applaud the ANC for that. We must applaud the leadership and the members of the ANC. It has not come out with its own. We must also acknowledge that we, in the process of renewal, it has not been smooth. It has not been all hunky-dory. It has not been easy for the movement, but we will get there. And as young
Yes.
people, we will push and we'll see that it happens for our children.
No,
And
no,
for
good.
and,
Because
and for and for a and for a new dawn to arrive, you must work through those dark moments.
Definitive, definitive. Comrades, I think really good inputs. As young people and also the generations, how we learn from each other. We need the militance and the impatientness and the youthfulness of young people, but we also need to ensure that the elder generation make that space. Now, the president, I want to move to the manifesto and the pledges that we have. So, as candidates in your respective areas, obviously you saw the president make the manifesto and say we're going to do better things, we're going to do more things together. We pledge, and the manifesto is an expression of what our people's contract is. Onze mense se contract. What stood out for you? Let me start with you, Comrade Hein. Wat het uitgestaan vir jou in die manifesto van die president?
Kijk, kamerad, als een geordende priester in die kerk, glo ik aan accountability. En dit is een van die goed wat vir my uitgestaan het. En dit is wat ek vir almal sê in my wijk tans. Jy het vir my gestem en jy het alle reg om vir my te kom vra, maar hoekom het jy nog nie na my toe gekom nie? Hoekom moet ek so lang wag omdat die strate moet skoongevee word? Vorige termyne wil ek amper sê, of vorige councillors, en ek sê dit met die grootste respek, there was just no accountability. Daar was geen kontak gemaak met jou plaaslike raadslid nie. Ek het nooit my raadslid se nommer byvoorbeeld gehad nie, om te bel as ek 'n probleem het nie. Maar daar het alles verander. Nie om te sê ek is die alfa en omega nie, maar ek het gevoel ons moet dinge anders begin doen. So vir my was daai die een, en die ander een is to be available. Ongeag ons eie lewens moet ons sê, en ons daar is 'n gesegde, as jy jou uitgee vir 'n toffie, moet jy ongelukkig gesuig word. En baie kere het ons net die stokkie oor, want daar's niks meer aan nie. Maar jy moet daar wees, mense moet weet wie jy is. So die ander issue wat ek wil ook opgebring het, is die service delivery. En ek het dit voorheen gesê in my vorige post op Facebook, dat dit bly my eerste prioriteit. Want jou behoefte word my visie.
Okay, Comrade Zoe. So what's your takeaway from?
One of the things when you read through the manifesto, there's something, it talks about the pledge, and the pledge, it speaks of the holistic of the work of the ANC that is going to do. And also you also look at the work that the ANC has done. Sometimes we as much as we look at the pledge and what we're going to do as a movement, but there are great things that we have done. 12 million people, if I'm correct, 12 million people are receiving grants in our country. But one of the things I like about what the ANC is talking about now, we pledge to do what we're going to do, and we're going to do it better. And also we are going to be available for our people, as my comrade has said, and to remain accountable to our people. And yes, it's ungabuyeli ebantwini bethu, ungabuyeli sithethe kunye nabantu bethu xa semosha. And also and to rebuild safer and healthier communities, trying to build communities abantu bazakwazi uhlala kuzo, abantu bazakwazi uphila kuzo, ezi-safe, ezingena crime, abantu bangaphili ubomi obunzima, bephila ubomi obu-healthier, ubomi obu-right as a community. Bekumnandi umamela umongameli ethetha ngezo zinto, ukuthi the ANC will do better. The ANC will do better than it has done before. Thank you. I think I should stop there.
Okay, good. So look, I think there's a lot that the president spoke about, and you're speaking about the issues that speaking of accountability, availability, dealing with the basic services. I like the idiom that Comrade Hein was using about being available for our people. I mean, the president also speaks about the pledge. I pledge. I'm just going to go through it quickly. I just want to share it with people. We pledge to do better. We pledge to do more. We pledge to be deployed
Yes.
and competent local leaders. We pledge to be action orientated, to deliver services promptly, to build safer and healthier communities, to stimulate the economy, to be available for our people and our communities, accountability and communication. So those are some of the pledges. Any follow-ups on that, Comrade Zoe? And let's start with you, Comrade Zoe, on that pledge. Or will you implement the pledge?
What stood out for me is to pledge to deliver services promptly and consistently. And one of the things that seeing and coming here from in Oudtshoorn and seeing what the DA is doing, because we are DA-led municipality, that services is being actually now they're even failing to do it even in their own words. And they're not bringing services promptly to the people. What we pledge to do is to bring services promptly on time to the people. Whenever there is a drain whenever there is a pipe that needs to be fixed, it must be fixed promptly. And we must make sure that it's done consistently in all the wards, and the services must go equally in all boards. And also we pledge to serve our people as to remain accountable to our people. And enye yezinto sibe available for abantu xa besidinga. Enye yezinto sibukela i-councillors zethu ne-councillors esinazo sometimes azikho available and azibonakali abantu xa besidinga. We pledge to be available for the people, and we pledge to be honest as we are deployed by the ANC, and to be honest as leaders, and then don't take what does not belong to you. I don't know if I'm saying what. Don't take what does not belong to you. And you yeah, your hands to be out of the cookie jar. That's a good one. Your hands to be it does not belong to you, it belongs to the people. Render the services to our people. Don't take what does not belong to you. Yeah.
Comrade Maxwell?
I think for me, the first one actually says it all. To do and to be better. That in itself sê ons het nie so bietjie goed gedoen daai tyd nie, maar nou kan ons. Ons was nie so goed daai tyd nie, maar nou pledge ons om beter te kan doen. So ek wil eintlik verder gaan om te sê ons pledge ons nou self om ook nou meer competent leaders te gee. Daarbey sê ons indirek ons erken ons het foute gemaak om comrades te deploy wat nou nie, kan ons sê, gekwalifiseerd is nie. That's why we're saying now, we want to do better, to give you competent leadership or counselors, to work with your issues effectively. And also, a big issue for our local towns is local economic development. Dis iets wat net 'n probleem is, waar as jy kyk in die DEA tyd voor ons oorgeneem met 2019 was die local economic development gefokus net op sekere individue of 'n chommy van die of 'n familie van daai, en dit was nie opgemaak dat elkeen kan ge-uplift word nie. So ek dink en veral as ons kyk in ons klein dorpies, sukkel vir al ons jong mense om iets van hulle lewe te maak wat 'n aanvoeling het vir besigheid of wat wil iewers kom, maar die geleenthede is nie genoeg nie. En as daar is, seker is voordeel.
Okay, let me ask that question directly. As young people, you know the problems, you stay in the areas, you live in the problems. What are you going to do differently? Local economic development, you raise the issues. Also, mense moet part wees van economic participation. What are we going to do? What are you going to do concretely that's different, Comrade Maxwell?
I think if we stick to the pledge, that's alles klaar, to do better and to be better. But ek sien nou die probleem. So ek kan mens nou voor die Here nie inkom en dieselfde probleem kom aanhits nie. Do you guys get it?
No, we get you. We get you. But the thing is, the pledge is there. I want to hear from you. What ideas do you have around what are we going to do for you see, it's easy for us to describe the problems, but as councillors, as public reps, you must be able to already think through what are you going to do. So maybe share. I know both of you are working hard in your communities anyway. You are there, you're present with our people, and you're not sharing that. So I want to just ask you, I mean, both of you are pastors, both of you are there for our communities. So you have identified one problem, jobs and LED and local economic. What concrete things will you do is the question I'm asking. Comrade Zoe?
Looking at you can hear me, but looking around and doing door to door and being encountering people's problems, you notice one of the problems we have is a housing issue. We have I think the housing issue is a national issue. We here also one of the problems we have, they're putting in houses. And they've been identified by the municipality, but these houses are they're not getting RDP houses that they ought to have. And these people have been on the list forever. Some of the people are complaining that we've been on the list since 1996. The least that we could do is build these people. It's about 14 houses or so, just in my ward. There are 14 houses that were supposed to build, and the DA has not done that. The governing party has not done that. We need to start focusing on those houses, give people the houses that they need, make the housing list be transparent to the people. The people must know where they stand and fast track the issue of land. We have spatial building. Most of the people now, what is happening now in terms of building houses are becoming even further and further from where the services are. They're building houses further and further away from town. People must take taxis. People must walk long distances. And we need to build closer to town. And the land, we need to start looking at the land that is available and start building closer to town so that people will not be far away from the services or bring services closer to them. That's one of the concrete things that we need to do. People are still, as we talked about safety and security. One of the problems we have, our facilities, government facilities have been stolen. Government facilities, there is no safe security. The security processes that we're looking into, paving that has been erected, that has been placed by municipality, is being stolen by the people, and no one is accounting what is going on. Fences of schools, they're being stolen. We need to start making sure that the proper structures in the municipality start looking into those things, because the more these things are stolen, fixing them is more expensive than building them. So we need to start looking at those things, as that's one of the things that we want to focus.
We must look after our. You're basically saying that we must protect our infrastructure, look after our infrastructure, and so that we can grow it. One quick question. What is your dream? What is your dream for your wijk? If you must just envision, and I'm going to ask you, Comrade Maxwell, what is your dream for your community? Where do you see your community in 5 years' time? If you are elected and you're successful, where will you take your community?
Kom ek begin met ons huidige probleem wat ons het in Klein Willem. Het ons 'n tekort aan krag. As die wind vanaand sterk by die hele dorp se krag af. As dit nou winter is en dit reën 100%, dan is dit krag af. So een van die goed waarmee ons al begin het, is nou so supply chain prosesse en what you call it. Om te kyk, hoe kan ons 'n ekstra Eskom lyn inkry wat ons kan help met ons krag, of om te kyk na alternatiewe energie. En daai prosesse het ons nou al reeds begin. En ek wil sê, wanneer ons die verkiesing wen, sal daai proses mos nou maar voortgesit word. Maar dis een van die grootste uitdagings wat ons het, en dit is baie frustrerend, veral vir as jy uit die werk het kom en jou kar is af. en dan bly my vrou non-stop. Ons nuwe woonbuurt sit nou al vir 10 jaar sonder teerpaaie. Die idee die huise oorhandig 4, 5 jaar terug. En tot op vandag is daar geen signal van of 'n straat wat gepyf word of geteer word. So as ons daai klein goedjies, nie dit mag nou klein klink, but for me it's also a matter of dignity. Want as daai wind waai my bo is jou huis net te sand. So en die ander issue is ons moet kyk na ons toerisme sektor binne in Klein Willem wat die front sê hulle dit is gemeng in terme van rasse, maar in die praktyk is dit glad nie. Die fokus bly op 'n sekere rassegroep in terme van toerisme, maar ons wat ook ons eie talente en gawes het, kan nie daar inkom by toerisme nie. Onlangs het 'n breinbeserij toegemaak weens wat 'n restaurant gehad het. Weens daardie ek wil dit hardop sê, weens die wit monopolie binne in ons dorp. En dit is baie hartseer. So ek dink my vorige kameraad het gepraat van die behuising wat nog steeds vir ons 'n groot uitdaging is. En die ander issue is tans die druk op ons gesondheidssektor binne in Klein Willem waar ons sit met 'n kliniek wat oorbevolk is en onderbeman. So die droom sal wees dat ons 'n mobiele kliniek sal kry, God willing. Dit is nog net 'n droom, maar ek hoop ek word wakker met 'n kliniek aan.
Nee, jy gaan definitief die droom waar maak vir jou mense. Kom reg zo. What is your dream for Bongolethu?
Yeah, don't worry. It's always free to dream, and it's wonderful to dream, and it's good to dream. Otherwise, there would not be a vision. You see, enye ingxaki esinayo kungabikho lento inkokheli yami isanda ithetha. Izindlela ezingekho paved. It's the same problem that we have, Comrade Maxwell. Some of our roads are not paved, and it's very dusty. When it's windy, you have a problem in your house. So we need to start having a campaign for paving streets. We must make sure that our streets are paved. Communities is safe for abantwana bethu. Abantwana bethu baphila kabuhlungu akumnandanga ngenxa yokuba akukho safe for bona kwi-community yabo. I-community safe, i-community i-economy ezaba conducive for abantu abamnyama nabantu abebala. Yeah, I think Maxwell, Comrade Maxwell, you're quite correct. Also, is the same. There are some of the things that you find in smaller towns the same as you find that you would find, because we're one of the communities that live through tourism, and the tourism industry is still in a certain hands, which we need to make it inclusive. There is also a business ostrich. We have an ostrich business, and I understand, Comrade Faiez, you were here to buy ostrich meat and you didn't give anything for me. But anyway, we have a businesses ostrich. Abantu bethu abakwazi ukufumana abakwazi ungena kule business ostrich. We still have businesses as fanatics and everything, but we need to get into serious economy as African and colored people. That we need to be included. It need to be inclusive, those businesses. Then also we have a lot of farming in Otsoren. Farming which is not inclusive. Agriculture, food production. We need our people to participate in those economy, so that our economies in our communities would start growing. And we start seeing people being elevated from being taken out of poverty. So this is the communities, especially Ward 8, is that we need to see a viable economy for Ward 8. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, comrade. So what I'm picking up is a lot of issues, really good issues. Your dream is about really empowering and making better for our communities. Just to recap, the economics is a key thing. If we bring investment, but it mustn't just go for the previously advantaged communities. It must be an inclusive, it must be a shared growth. It must ensure
Mm.
that local, young, African colored women all are part of the processes. So I think there's a lot there. You also raising the issue of tourism. Both of your towns are beautiful towns, really good with tourism. But again, how do we ensure the benefits? So you as councillors, you will have to practically in very concrete terms say how. It's easy to talk, we want. And I think that's the key thing now. You are young and you have the commitment and passion, agro processing, business, small business for our communities. I want to ask a question around around vaccination. Now, we almost 2 years in this COVID, and I'm sure all of us have lost loved ones, and
Mm.
we struggling, and we now in lockdown level 2, I think, and we are having a strong drive for vaccination, especially amongst young people, so that hopefully we can get ourselves a critical herd immunity. What's your message to young people that's not vaccinated, that's still scared, that's still afraid, especially young men are afraid for the needle and or saying there's a magnet in the vaccine and all of those things. What is your message? Let's start with you, Comrade Maxwell. What's the message on the vaccination?
Well, I had an opportunity, I think a month ago, to speak at one of the COVID funerals, and I said that if you haven't had COVID yet, or you haven't received the vaccine yet, please shut up. Ik sal nie weet voordat jy dit nog nie gehad het nie. Ekskuus tog. Moenie ander mense forceer om te dink soos jy dink nie, want dit red lewens. Ek sou vandag my tweede jab bevat het, maar ons is nou besig om te campaign, so ek het my jab uitgestel tot maandag toe. Maar ek het niks oorgekom nie. Hier's nie 'n magnet in my arm nie. Ek was wel eendag siek, maar ek is bo uit nou. Maar dit gaan oor die veiligheid en gesondheid, nie net van jouself nie. Ons het mos families ook. Ons het mos vriende ook. En ons werk dag en nag met verskillende mense. So ek voel en as 'n priester wil ek mense regtig bemoedig, aanmoedig om die vaksin te neem. Iemand moet dit vir my kom verduidelik waar in die skrif staan van die 666. Hulle moet ons moet op ons ore en oë uitleen. En ek wil dit hier ook noem vir bospastore wat ons mense mislei, wat onopgevoed is in teologie, want ons het al mense verloor wat nie die vaksin geneem as gevolg van hierdie redes nie. So om die vaksin te neem is net vir jou eie veiligheid, jou familie, jou vriende en die met wie jy saamwerk.
Comrade Zoe?
You're quite correct. As a pastor and as Comrade Maxwell, there have been many theories that people have been saying about this vaccine. We had started when it all started the vaccine for older folks. Those about what 8 would remember between what 8 and what 4. CSA pusher into vaccination, especially vaccinate abantu abadala sabaqhuba. But one of the things I see a lot that we have learned actually like COVID, Comrade Faiez and Comrade Maxwell, is how interconnected people are. We cannot run away from that. We are interconnected. If you don't want to be vaccinated, go sit somewhere and close yourself. Don't be part of any community. Don't eat. Don't drink. Don't do anything that that will connect you with people. Because if you're not vaccinated, you will go home to an older mother or an older father who will be out of your carelessness, will be virus. And we cannot allow our communities to bury another member of our community. It has been painful for all our young men and our young women to go out and be vaccinated. It keeps us safe. I still miss the day when we have full stadiums in the country and to watch football. I'm an Orlando Pirates fan. I don't know about you guys, but I love Orlando Pirates. I still miss seeing the fans running around and enjoying themselves on the pitch, up the parks, running around the pitch, and I'm tired of the masks. I don't want to lie. I'm tired of the mask. The only way we can take them off, it is being jabbed and being vaccinated. Let's stop listening to all the lies, and let's stop listening to unproven lies. Let's stop listening to all the lies. Let's go out and be vaccinated, all of us as South Africans, so that we can go back to normal. Thank you.
Thank you, comrades. I think that's the clear message. Let's vote for ANC, but also let's vaccinate. I think that's the clear message for us. For us, vaccine is making common sense, because we are the only African country that have bought vaccines for our people. A lot of countries are even struggling to get vaccine. Vaccine is also helping us, and people must see. When I was a youngster, I had the smallpox vaccine. I had the polio vaccine, and vaccines help us with these type of diseases. And I think the more we get all of our people to encourage. So as pastors and as community and public leaders, please continue that message. I'm even prepared to take people physically to go and get them their jab and hold their hands if they're scared. It's not so painful. So I think we want to encourage people to do the vaccination. Comrades, I just want to pull together. We have 27 days left in your campaign, each of you. What type of activities and programs, and I'll start with you, Comrade Zoe, how are you going to bring out you in a base ward? So it's almost for granted that people will vote for the ANC, but we must never take our people for granted. How are you going to ensure in the next 28 days, 27 days, with your activities, what activities you have to ensure that we get an overwhelming victory in Bongoletu?
The world that I come from the church, first of all. We are engaging pastors and we are involving pastors, and we'll have a service where we call all the pastors and everyone to a service and to pray for the ANC, and also to pray for myself as a candidate. So that is because our communities are very believing communities, and that is a very huge mess. That's a lot of numbers of people, and we trust that people will come out. And we also have we're continuing with the door-to-door. I believe door-to-door are still effective. We can never run away from door-to-door. We need to knock on people's doors, and we need to convince our voters. Because one thing standing on the stage trying to convince people, is another thing going into their houses and trying to convince them. We are continuing daily, not only to fill in the canvassing sheets, no, to make sure that our people still believe in the ANC. And also we have we continuing with the COVID campaign, assisting people and trying to get them to be vaccinated and keep people safe. But not only that, we have sooner we'll have motorcades driving around and keeping people excited, and have public meetings, not public meetings, but outside, so that we engage our voters and make sure that they come out and vote in droves and in numbers. It's unfortunate that schools are closed, that we want to encourage young people to go when schools are open, to young people are 18 to come out and vote. So those are the few programs that we have, and we believe let's keep on going door to door and put on our masks when you go door to door, because we don't want to infect our own voters. And we also don't want to be infected because we are the candidates. And without us, without us, what is the campaign? So we need to go out there and ask and drag our voters to go out and vote. And we trust our voters will come out in numbers and in droves. Yeah.
Okay, Comrade Maxwell, your campaign for the next few days, and how are you going to get people involved if they want to be part of your campaign? What activities and programs are you going to do?
Just to add on to what my comrade is saying, door to door is the most effective way to go. And I have seen that numerous times now. That one will remain one of the best canvas tactics. Um, for me, I'm currently driving one, as you can see on Facebook, where I ask the people, hoekom wil jy vir Maxwell Heins stem? Wat? Hoekom? En dan moet jy self sê, ek sê nie vir jou wat jy moet sê nie, but the whole idea is to bring in different voices, different perspectives, different religions, and also different race, also looking at the gender equality to get all that into those different voices. So en vir my is dit 'n belangrike vraag. Want as ons kyk na 'n plaaslike verkiesing, kyk ons mos na wie is op die paal. Wie se gesig is daar? En wat kan daai man of vrou vir my bied? Wat het hy gedoen? So mense is bereid om te praat en my hele idee is om elke dag 'n different view te post. Ek gaan nou wel 'n bietjie later vandag die post doen, maar dit gaan ook 'n interessante een wees. 'n tipe van 'n skoolhoof wat gaan praat hoekom sy vir Maxwell Heins gaan stem, en dan sal sy nou self uitbrei hoekom. Die ander issue en dan die ander tactiek sal ook bly infotables op strategiese plekke binne in jou dorp. So dis een ding wat ons tans mee besig is, maar ek dink my vorige kameraad het van die goed genoem, en ons, voter education, baie belangrik, veral nou waar jy 3 ballots het, is daai vir my belangrik, waar ons blaadjies uitdeel vir mense en sê, dis hoe jy jou keuse moet maak binne in die blokkie, en
Let's explain that very clearly to all of us, Comrade Maxwell. Explain verduidelik gou die 3 blokkies.
Kyk, ons maak 'n tipe van 'n mock ballot. Dan sê ons, kom ouma, hier is ons pen, u gaan nou stem vir Maxwell Heins en vir die ANC. Moenie die kruisie oor die blokkie maak, maak hom binne in die blokkie, byvoorbeeld. Want dan is dit mens nou 'n spoiled ballot. So dit is belangrik dat ons daai doen. Ons het mens nou die 3 ballots, die kandidaat, jou peer en jou distrik. So jy verduidelik nou vir die mense, al 3 maak jy ANC. So ek persoonlik fokus daarop ook. So ja, that's my
One ballot, ANC. Vote 2 ballot, ANC. Yes. Vote 3 ballot, yes. ANC. Julle moet dit explain soos dit. Comrade Zoe? Can you do that for us also?
No,
explain
uvotele i-candidate. Eyesibini, uvotele kuyo zonke uvotele i-ANC zontathu, and uvota kule ndawo kuthiwa kukho ibox kuyo. Ungavoti kwezinye indawo, ungavoti phezu kwegama lomntu, ungavoti phezu kobuso bomntu, ungavoti phezu komkhonto nekhakha. Uvota kulaa box ivulekileyo, ubeke ungca wakho lapho ungebetha khona. Don't vote in any other, vote ANC. That is what we must vote for. Enkosi.
Mandla. So comrades, just to conclude, I think both of you, we want to wish you well in your campaign. As the ANC, we have a lot of faith and trust in you and your leadership. You must grow with your people. You must take your people with. We want to encourage our voters in both Bongaletu and Cederberg to come out in their numbers to vote for Comrade Zoe Tyata and Comrade Maxwell Heins. Comrade, just last concluding remarks before I close. I also want to say thank you to Aisha Abrams, who's our executive producer, who's put this program together, and also to both of you. And I wish you success in your campaign. Final words from you, Comrade Zoe.
Thank you, first of all, Comrade Faiez, for this opportunity. I think it would reach it would reach a lot of people. I think it's a very brilliant idea that you have come up with, and I wish you all the best. And thank you, Comrade Maxwell, for being part of what we are doing. And I know by the 2nd of November we'll have our councillor Maxwell Heins for giving us such great platform. But anyway, let me get back to my last words. I wish to urge everyone, all South Africans, to go out and vote for the ANC on the 1st of November. And everywhere, just go out and vote more than ever before, especially in the Western Cape. Let's go out and vote even more than before. All our voters, all our ANC-loving people, everyone, let's not sit at home because we're angry with so-and-so. We are not angry with the ANC. The ANC has done nothing to us. Let's go out and vote. We need your vote. The people, the impoverished people need your vote. Your vote will save a lot of people's lives. And I think we should go out and vote. And let's vote for the ANC, green, gold, and black. I would like to urge everyone what aid in Bongoletu. We need Senidinga Bahlali. Masiphumeni, so vote ngobuninzi bethu. There are many small parties that we have in these elections. Even up at Otson, we have 14 parties who have been registered. Let's not make a mistake. Masiphumeni, so vote ngobuninzi bethu. Vote yakho ibalulekile. Each and every vote counts. Each and every vote is important. It is for the love of the ANC, it is for the love of our community. Let's go out there and vote. All of the best, Comrade Maxwell, and I trust that you will do well. I thank you.
Thank you, Comrade.
Comrade Maxwell?
I think for me it is that the community must just remember, and South Africa must remember, that these candidates of the ANC was elected by its communities. That in itself is a message. The other parties didn't have this process like the ANC. So that first, we must remember that we are elected by our communities. Tweedens wil ek noem dat wanneer jy gaan stem, maak seker jy kan jou vertroue in daardie een plaas wie voor jou dier hang voor op die paal. Want in my opinie is en bly die ANC die enigste party wat dienslewering effektief kan verseker aan sy mense en wat sy mense altyd eerste sal plaas. Baie dankie.
Thank you, guys. Baie dankie, Kakulu. Comrades, we wish you well. And with that, we also want to say to the listeners and viewers, please tune in again tomorrow at 1. As per normal, we'll spend some time with candidates across the length and breadth. We're not sure who Aisha is lining up for us tomorrow, but again, we're going to get a vibrant group of candidates so that you can make informed decisions, so that you can know who your candidate is, and more importantly, you're part of the ANC's journey of renewal. Vote for the change. We need the change in the Western Cape. Also, move van Baaskap. We are tired of white privilege and the maintenance of white privilege. We want change in our areas. We wish you and
Mandla.
Mandla. Thank you very much, everybody.